the ranks the first time, they were playing TYLOO and Lynn Vision fairly frequently. You know, these cores would essentially rose together, and eventually the Mongols separated themselves and had a greater distinction. But now that they're in the region less, it also means that the practice becomes this issue. You know, where you get some of these repetitions against these a team that is at the top level, you are going to level up your own gameplay too, and that can be the concern. Maybe it's unwarranted concern given the recent South American success, but that remains to be seen. TYLOO versus Legacy, playing in our upper bracket semi-final for a position in the playoffs.
TYLOO have picked into Overpass, a map that has not seen play from Legacy since March this year, and even then not against the strongest opponents. They're hoping that they are more than capable on it, and with players like Jamyang and G, who at least on Overpass have always been a particularly good read and a particularly good hand, you would understand why they want to put their eggs in this basket. But Lado's not in a mood for an omelet right now, and as G comes around the corner, Lado gets the better of him. Jamyang does better than that though, with 2 quick frags, and Nassim's on the ground. TYLOO has found a very comfortable pistol round win.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, all these kills happen so damn quickly. The smoke over towards long, they break right past it. There's Lato inside of the smoke with his knife drawn because he's run out of ammo. Gets ran over and dealt with around the edge of the smoke, and then MOUZ just covering off the flank. So they decided for that contact burst. They get the contact, they do the burst, and the Legacy squad just unfortunately couldn't deal with the initial part of the attack to slow them down.
Legacy are getting ready for a stack of grenades.
Yeah, you can time these right. Could be perfect, but they also have to come to be for that to be.
Maybe they can go back over and try and stop the bomb from being planted with these things.
They definitely could. It's just about whether or not they get the early warning sign. I've entered this weird thought process with Lato as of late. You know, Dumao Lato, yeah, they're a power combo. But sometimes I think Lato struggles in those pressure situations. Dumao, I think, can succeed. I just thought I'd plant this seed, this idea. When the games get tight or the games get tough, or there's high stakes on the line, look out for Lato. Sometimes he's not where he needs to be.
Although they cheese might be where they need to be, but Nassim's bullets are not. He's not able to find even the 1. This is great damage being dealt, and the 5-7s should be able to come out for some sort of success up ahead. Mosea's not looking to clear this out, and more HEs will come forward. Dumao is lining up for success. This is a disaster from the Dragons. And Legacy, every single HE grenade will connect with multiple players. That is shambles for TYLOO.
Yeah, they got the info they needed in time. They get the clearance over towards Monster. They get slowed down as they progress into the bomb site. And because they kept on tanking nades and there were more CTs than they had initially thought, they never clear for Dumao. Beautiful patience. And a fantastic force buy. Well, maybe it's Jamyang time. AK in hand, only rifle they bring forth in this round. It's a solid angle here for Sadzin. So, I mean, this is an AWPer's angle, really. But yeah. He's there with the M4.
Sadzin is putting himself in a position to push forward. And with TYLOO taking the long way around back to B, if Sadzin can take control over connector, pair together with Dumao, get ready for what could be a double swing off the back of Nassim's utility, this is troublesome. It's not a traditional B-side defense that's being set up.
Yeah, this is not really that great. Wait, Dumao's playing tricky here. Yeah, finally deals with 0, so that's one prong of the assault that TYLOO start to calculate for, but it's taken away from them very rapidly. Good flash. Jamyoung trying to get some space inside of the bomb site, but Dumao's caught by the flash from G. Out from heaven, a quick descent. And Art has restabilized back into this bomb site, but they're caught behind that smoke. They're juggling weapons here on the side of TYLOO. They've got 20 seconds, little room to breathe. It's 4 CTs that sit in close proximity, and they have no ground to make up. They need these kills now. MOUZ finally springs in with the block, but it's low bullets here for G, tapping away, finally finding a frag back. But Art will combine for 1, and Jamyoung, playing trigger discipline for unknown reasons, will die. A very, very slow progress there from TYLOO. A hectic situation there for Legacy, but they managed past it. It's 2 rounds straight.
Yeah, Dumao getting that early kill is certainly going to be helpful. If TYLOO had been able to put up his player, even to trade him out 1-for-1 and have control over short water, that becomes a very different story from there. Legacy loses a lot of money, but TYLOO know that they would be a little bit silly if they thought about force buying back into this one.
Can you rationale why Jamyoung just didn't shoot?
He was looking for the knife. I know you don't want it to be true, Michael. I don't either.
It's just silly.
Listen, like I said, sometimes you gotta be ready for the disappointment.
Yeah.
I made enough bad decisions in life to see one, Michael.
Takes one to know one. Man who's made bad choices.
Well, that was a fast one.
Yeah. Nice they didn't mess around. Just blocks. He really wants to not die to that SMG, but that's not a choice that he's actually in charge of. Oh, nicely handled. All kills for Legacy. No real damage taken. There's a few nades, but that's what they're there for. To be thrown about the shop. TYLOO going in with a full investment. This is Galil's on at least 2 of their members, 0 and Mercury. The rest are on AKs, but they prioritize utility.
Salton is putting himself out on A along with the AWP early on as well. Jamyoung taken down to that AWP. Very nicely done. And where he's already found one, they want to move back and regain connector control now that that smoke thrown out from TYLOO has dissipated. CTs are still only having their AWP over on this A site.
They've not really looked to take that extra space. Deep smoke here from Sadson.
MOUZ's in a very good position to punish.
Needs a flash.
There it goes. Sadson down and out. Art tries to rotate back over, but he's going to be stuck inside bank. Has to move out from the smoke. Flash in his hand to try and delay. It's a peek from Lando that goes punished. Flash hadn't popped out just quite yet, but Art will pop off regardless. Now that he's been forced away by the Molotov, the T side has space to plant. Nassim coming in for the backstab is the first one they have to deal with. Dumao and Nassim would like to peek together, but Nassim will be given the duel. MOUZ can't find his 3rd kill. And despite TYLOO finding a good return over onto the A side, it's Art's double that makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean, really nicely done from Art. If not for him being in position so quickly and getting to that site, then they probably would have lost that foothold that they needed for that activation on the flank. Nassim has been the player that's kind of surprised a lot of people in the opening 6 to 8 months of 2025. Wouldn't have pegged him as a really solid player. Probably the next one to get cut, actually, from Legacy. And then he went on a string of form towards the end of the year that he just looked like a completely different guy. Great impact, clutch rounds, multi-kills, in a way you'd never seen before. And he's maintained that form, even coming into 2026. So we've got a new lease on life to his career.
That's what happens when you bleach your hair, man. Whole new
Changed
person.
man.
TYLOO are struggling on this T side. It is going to be a 5-1 scoreline the way this is going. Sadzin does not care about that lurking smoke. He's given the call out that, yeah, there really isn't anyone here, actually. Be careful about what's coming over at B, though. Mercury 0-4, now 0-5. Jamyang's the only player who's shown us impact on the scoreboard just quite yet in terms of the 3 alive. And I mean, impact on the scoreboard is just something that has to be discussed. TYLOO aren't winning duels.
Yeah, they're not killing people. Which does matter. We always talk about CT economy, how hard it can be to keep things going, but that's also under the expectation that you're taking casualties, you're taking losses, the util's expensive, the weapons are expensive. If you're not having to rebuy at least half of them, then you're good, you're chilling.
Shocking revelation. If you're not dying, it's pretty easy, actually.
Yeah, life's not too bad, in fact, on that CT side. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that word.
I got it. I think I did a pretty good job.
A German man out there is losing hair.
Just one of them, yeah.
At least one.
I hope that's not like... Nah, they wouldn't put it in the game if it was a slur or anything like that. I might have to get all of PGL Twitch, man.
That would be a fiasco. 5 rounds straight here for Legacy. It is a full investment round here for TYLOO, but well, they have access to Connector and a presence outside of B. No sudden moves looking to be made. Flash from the B side to help support A, and Lazo will capitalize, so really nicely handled. Jamyang's dealt with on the lurk.
This could be a good timing for TYLOO to start moving in. The Legacy defense is all the way back in water, and with some good nades, that could force them back. They need flashes to push through these smokes, and MOUZ doesn't move fast enough. Mercury and Zero are able to get at least responses that bring it back into their favor. Lato, the only CT who still had his name in the conversation, and unless this HE finishes off Mercury, this feels like a very undoable retake for Sadzin. Incendiary back out over to force G back. G is still burning. He dodges out that one last bullet, and Sadzin, who was hoping for a kill off the back of a wall bank, is still nearby and committed to the cause. Is he expecting TYLOO to be backing off in this position? They won't be.
Oh, they're going to see if they can boost up and grab the AWP. I think they got it.
They did, yeah.
G let out a little yell at the end. Yeah, he's got that thing equipped. So boosted up, found the AWP. 2 survivors, and it just becomes another one of these hectic flurry of bullets from TYLOO as they breach into the bomb site. And that's honestly kind of the win condition. So much of their game is revolving around how strong this rifling core can be. Once the dust settles, they get into fights where they feel at their strongest. Boost up into view into Connector, but they fail it. Stick around to find out whether or not there's a player in short.
Jamyang is taking an incredibly passive lurk position, and unless they want to go back over towards B later on, which the bomb doesn't make it seem like they do, they're going to have to take a little bit longer to make sure long isn't a problem point for them again. It looks like they're going back over to B. Hosea spotted out, trying to jump up to get the extra bullets in. Michael did just tell me about the triple boost and how we have allowed it to rest in peace. Maybe we can talk about that later on, because right now TYLOO still want to make a move into this B site.
Bomb's making its way over through Fountain, though, so they're trying to run some kind of distraction here, but they're pretty resource-starved. So I'm not sure how good of a distraction it'll be. They'll flash into the monster tunnel. Blow open the smoke, will fire off a hail of bullets, but It's actually causing the rotate from Lato, so it is a solitary Sadzin. And maybe a sad Sadzin.
15 seconds.
They're gonna start running at him. First hit does connect on long, and Sadzin just dancing around the bomb site. G does connect, and he needs to punch in those digits for the plant. Lato out from CT, cancels that, and so the round is done. TYLOO fail to win. They lose to the clock, but they lose to Sadzin on that solo hold.
I need Joking to have a word with this team right now. I'm bewildered as to what's going on over here. Because normally you're looking out towards a player like Jamyang and he's in a playmaking position. He can at least try and take some duels. If you're so worried about the A bomb set, if you're so worried about losing your life to Sadzin as the opera, etc., and you're then taking so much map control back to B, using a lot of your utility, turning into a fake at 20 seconds when you haven't even crossed divider seems like a bit much.
Yeah, also the A players, I feel like, slowed themselves down a lot to see what Jamyang could get up to, which is kind of the wrong order of operations, it feels like. Either way, Sadzin's having a great time on this AWP. I'd say he's been the most challenged by flashes or util sailing his way, but hey, where they ain't throwing it, he's been shooting them.
Wow.
Touchdown.
Sorry, 0?
He came up connector to catch that one.
Oh, Jammy boy.
He's past the smoke.
I've got very little faith in him accomplishing much at this point. Well, maybe I'm lying to myself to make myself feel better, Michael. He's still in it. There's no one else on this A-bomb set other than Lato. If they can move up fast enough, turn this into a 2v3, recover the rifle, there's a world that we might still live in. I don't know, man. Ace Clutch potentially coming through. Well, he's got a backstab that he's already dealt with. Through the smoke, he could find two. Knife out for extra speed. Comes up the side. Nassim spots him out. Nassim is trying to bait him forward and see if he can take the fight after time. He's playing ring around the rosies. There's too many corners in this map.
Oh. That felt like that was the longest round end timer that could have existed. Yeah, good for Nassim. Good decision to make as well. Knew he was getting hounded down and just played time. Knew that there was no way that Jamyang could win the round out from there. He got a couple of kills, Jamyang. He got a hat trick of them, but it's not enough. Let's go full reinvestment. And Legacy are at large on this CT side. 7-2. And there is no noticeable weak link. TYLOO haven't shown enough of a capacity to breach into these bomb sites or even just establish really solid map control as of yet. Anytime they get into the divider bathrooms, that serves so often as a springboard for T sides to just leap into the A site. Not been the case for TYLOO so far. They throw a lot of flashes in their mid control to feign some presence at the bathrooms, and it has caused a rotation. But they're clearing things out. Art is being proactive alongside Sadzin, so we'll get sussed out. Double monster.
Flashes are good. 0 is out, and with MOUZ getting a quick kill in there as well, TYLOO will find their winning strategy of multiple players speaking together, winning again.
They needed a round like this. I was just saying they didn't have consistent threats or shown the capacity to breach the bomb site. You know, it has been in fairly hectic moments, from the pistol to the last B finish that they had. Super chaotic, but this was about as clean cut as it could have gone.
we're getting to a place where Legacy has to worry about their money for these last few rounds, and Salzin cannot afford to die here.
Well, he did, so there's a lot of money to buy.
Couldn't afford it. Yeah,
this
is one gun round.
Yep. Could be a problem.
And if that ends up being the case, then well, Jamyang's 3 kills, which looked a little bit more like a fireworks show in terms of it's nice, but it doesn't do much, could actually have been very impactful. And even now, Legacy running a little bit dry on you two. They don't have a kid over here either. They're probably going to have to call an earlier save if the bomb site is breached. And that's why Dumao wants to take the fight early, not later. Dumao comes out, but he's been taken down immediately. There's no one to boost up on top of Art to try and make a play happen. And where he peeks out behind the flash, it's instead Zero who's coming behind him, trying to take him down. Art is able to get one, but Nassim yet to reveal will be the next to fall. This B bomb site breached, and Legacy are being tempted into walking into this retake. But it has to be Sadzin to find the kill. And when he's been smoked off, it really does feel like a save call has to be made.
Yeah, that's the most likely course of action here for Legacy. They know that this is a bit of a write-off, a bit of a shame as well that Nissim doesn't have a proper weapon. I mean, he's down to that 5-7, but that's that economy that was so rightly noted. Funds have run dry here for a Legacy that, well, it's building this case that CT side, that money management's not too big of a deal if you just don't die. But they started dying, so things became expensive. Overpass.
Terrorists win.
Yeah, they need to update that thing. The emblem still saying CSGO? Come on now.
Damn. Maybe now it is quite literally the Counter-Strike. Go! But what?
That sounds like an anime spin-off.
There actually do exist a lot of manga spin-offs, funnily enough.
Shout out the Teen Titans, I guess.
Mozia steps on a landmine.
He's very committed to the B side. They're leaving Sadzin by his lonesome on A, which he's been pretty good at that so far. That monster, but they're making their move instantly. Counter flash from CTs don't land in time. Duma doesn't last. Art playing around the smoke inside of a Molotov into another one. They are just bombarding him with utility, and the flashes just keep on finding kills alongside it. Art finally dealt with, and in from spawn, Lato will get dropped on by Zero. So it's a 7-5 half in favor of Legacy, but TYLOO really rallying at the end of that half.
I mean, absolutely shocking. 4 out of 5 of the rounds that come through are just straight up proper B-side hits and executes, good utility being used, swarming the side effectively. Is using numbers advantages every time they try and shift away from that, every time they try and slow work out either bomb side, try and look for the mid round. Sadzin's able to get involved. They get very little map control, and Art with his antics, where Art's entire CT side game style seem to revolve around just getting information out into short and into connector and using that effectively, which is going well for them, but it doesn't work if they're coming to the B side.
Yeah, those B execs and the kills that followed were really hard to deal with, clearly, for Legacy. Successfully shut it down one time, found success in stopping it on the second round force buy. But outside of that, pretty difficult. Maybe that's all TYLOO need to do, is run more execs.
A little bit hard on the CT side.
The Zoomers love this one.
Oh? I was really hoping you'd finish it.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Okay, fine.
What, numbers are just a joke to you now?
Well, some people's numbers might be a little bit of a joke. Mercury and G hoping to step things up on this CT side. And they've been put together. Which means either they can uplift one another or bring this whole shit down. Jumping across, it's Mercury. Dacking away. 2 kills found, and why stop at 2 when there's more to be had? G now hoping to end this in a quick way. TYLOO are likely going to be able to find that second BC round win as well.
Let's see what Lato can offer up. Planted the seed of doubt about Lato earlier on this map, but he can still be pretty damn clutch. V3 getting a bomb plant is not bad at all for Legacy. Extra money will help, and he's got a great post-plant position to play from. No kit available here for TYLOO, but they do have a smoke.
You'd expect him to find at least one more, but as he goes in with the knife drawn, he might be able to find one with the knife. It's knife on knife action. And I suppose even if Jamyoung could not find it, they will eventually. Oh?
Bomb has been defused.
Oh?
Terrorists win.
Oh?
It is 7-6 in favor of Legacy. TYLOO winning the second half pistol. Our observers are having fun. How many of those, that number combo can be on the map at once?
Almost had you.
I almost fell into it.
God. Legacy will be able to come through with enough of a threat that TYLOO have to be on edge about this round. That extra knife kill will certainly be helping as well.
Yeah, well, they both got knife kills, so it all balances out, really.
The flashbang through, and Mercury's in trouble over here. Lato wants to take a peek. Mercury, never mind, he's not in trouble. I'm sorry, Mercury, for doubting you. Started off this half 4 and 8, right now 9 and 10, now 9 and 11. Still a 2 versus 3 where Legacy have done enough damage and can recover a weapon as well, potentially, to keep TYLOO guessing. Splitting up over here might be the move if they want to try and force rotations. If Sadzin can get a single kill on this A site, that would have certainly opened up the bomb, but instead they'll leave Nassim to try and work his wonders.
Yeah, I mean, he just has to get out here because the health is not conducive to a clutch here for Sadzin. Around the incendiary he goes, and, well, now the round looks impossible. Sadzin almost gets spammed by that MP9. Now just looking to escape with the AK instead. Tie game.
Saving over here isn't the worst thing in the world.
It still doesn't feel great. But they won't buy up around this.
Yeah. It's just making it an objective to try and find a bit more damage, because CT economy has been disturbed even in this round, especially if he somehow gets one more kill, which is admittedly very unlikely.
It also just means they don't have an AWP on their first gun round, which is not the worst thing that could happen to you, but
Yeah.
it is a kind of an impossibility.
Oh, a little bit of util. Art has had some drop by Sadzin, also has a couple of flashes. They have a Tech 9 and Kevlar as well, as long as Duma is in a position where he can pick up that AK-47. This could still be interesting. A B-bomb side pop is how Legacy hope to break into this round. It'll be 0 to start off strong. First kill makes him look good, and Jamyoung switching out for a little bit more spam through the smoke is only going to help more. Legacy, who are hoping that this AK would be able to deal at least a little bit more damage, are going to be finding themselves sorely disappointed, or take some of that disappointment away. TYLOO have been forced into honest positions, and as Naseem picks up one with the Glock, it's Art who will fall. AK recovered again. With the AK-47, always a chance for an honest fight, and in a 1 versus 1, he even tried to pre-fire it. That is value from a saved AK.
And it died immediately. Sadzin was first out monster. If you put that together, you understand that that's the guy that saved the AK last round. They must be behind the smoke. The fact they even came down to a 1v1 is shocking for TYLOO. Because they had to run through smokes to pick that thing up over and over again. Beautiful shots being hit by Legacy, I'll say that much. But how does G die to a Glock? And then how does it even get that close? I think that's a very reasonable question, considering it was just one belt of util and there's one saved AK. They just kept on cycling into new hands.
That's like the dream hero AK situation.
Yeah.
Did everyone get a try with it? Right? Yeah? Okay, cool. We're good then.
I remember you would see that on Strat Roulette, is the gladiator, where one person would buy a weapon, everybody else would just, try and go in one after the other, one at a time. But it's not supposed to be that effective.
TYLOO. Distraction coming in from Naseem on his HEs, but it has to be Zero, and Jamyang is always to hold. Jamyang with one, but Zero around the corner of the pillar can only deal damage. He makes them particularly tenderized, sure, but if that HE doesn't find them before the bomb is planted, this retake is still tough. 2 versus 2 with HP and TYLOO's advantage, but they don't have a kit, and I don't think there should be one on this site with the way their money was going either. G's a non-factor in this retake. What can he do with the AWP?
Trying to become a factor. Okay, Mercury just demolished coming out of heaven, and now with G cycling into that AK, decides against it to keep the AWP instead. This didn't look too hot for Legacy coming out from short. They didn't get the kills they wanted initially, but they did what they needed to in terms of, finding the opening kill over at that wood wall. And there just wasn't enough of a collection from this player at pillar. You could see Zero trying to link up and deal with the monster presence, but he actually needed to be the one that addressed how much space Legacy were taking from short.
How unfair is that?
I mean, very big kill to find. It's just going to be a little disappointing there for TYLOO. They were not expecting a contact split from Legacy into B.
And I think you are getting to see a little bit of that relative rookie situation that Zero is obviously in, right? In position like that where he's the man who's been left alive, who's been given space to sort of choose his own duels around pillar, which is always the biggest advantage of playing that position. You'd hope that he could do more, even if it's very difficult to accomplish.
Yeah, I mean, especially because his teammate, well, I think MOUZ from Heaven, he's
yeah,
I mean,
Jamyang is at Word, MOUZ is at Heaven. He's given time, he's given space.
It's not like MOUZ just got instant destroyed and he couldn't swing off his contact. He definitely could have, but did not. Maybe he didn't have the bullets to, for being generous. Either way, tying round for Legacy and a very fast call just out the gate. Straight up long they'll go. Mercury here by him, a total lonesome with a double flash. So many flashes that it actually catches Art going and committing for the swing. The ladder wasn't blind. And
now with the deep smoke inside, that's so annoying. They're just going to back off.
Yeah, they knew that numbers were called. At least 3 players over on long. No need to force it.
G missing a critical shot, and that means Art has so much more room to work off of. MOUZ comes back with one, but he's lost out most of his life for it. How has he found 3 big kills? He's got wings on either side, and it gives him a 2v2. Zero and Jamyoung, the duo defending B, now left with a foot having been spotted. Jamyoung closes the distance, and the scene nearby. Off angle is good. Shadow advantage was there. Everything sets him up for success. But still, MOUZ, the only player who has drawn blood so far. 20 seconds.
How do you make the
and
call?
They still have to plant the bomb.
How do you make the call where this man is going to be?
Well, ask him apparently, and he'll be happy to answer.
Bomb has been planted.
That is an absurd triple kill. It just... How do you even get away with more than one there? He's down to 13 health, jumping into 2 fresh duels. Honestly, I'm happy for Legacy that they didn't lose to that, because that was some nonsense.
TYLOO and their map pick are looking like they might be on their way out. Legacy, if they can't even be beaten by nonsense, then maybe they can't be beaten at all. Flashes aren't the best, if we're being honest, but they don't care. Able to come through with the early kill. That's exactly what they were looking for. Make it 2. And in a 5v3, I've not seen too many ecos go the way of the pistols.
Terrorists win.
Good presence of mind from Legacy. Knew that those smokes were going to serve as potential hiding spots. Didn't lower their guard. 2-round separation. And a timeout called as well. Make sure everyone is in the zone for what's ahead. There's another fresh gun round coming up. But there could easily be a fumble. TYLOO have a trick or 2. Hopefully not many involving a triple boost.
Watson pull out a triple boost and still get the headshots.
That
With
would
what
be some
Mercury is
added
up to.
I actually don't know if we're... I'd assume we'd be playing on the latest. Usually it's only like big gameplay changes that don't make it, but... You know, is a triple boost a big gameplay change? It is, sort of. But it's also niche enough that it might not fall under that rule. Hasn't affected the match so far.
Well,
now, this is kind of
a triple boost of sorts. And it's paid off.
Work. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, no. How
has he just been domed down? Mercury, knife out, fighting for the second. I mean, Lado couldn't be given more of a free shot than that, and now he wants another 1-0. At least picks up 1, and he swings backwards to face down Lato, who's already up to 3 kills. HE, well placed. Sadzin, slightly unhappy with how he's been clipped by it. Sadzin is the one with the bomb. Starts to plant through. Jamyoung coming in from behind. Timing is great. Zaya. All right, okay. So TYLOO, off the back of that initial kill of Jamyoung's boost, will be able to find that 9th round.
Yeah, Lado is looking really locked in. I mean, his understanding of the timing and where the next fight's coming from, the fact that there wasn't this continual pressure put on by the bank player, especially when the plant is coming in, you know, being very suspicious of that flank, and had actually a pretty reasonable chance to win the fight over Jamyoung. But he was low health, so not exactly at an advantage.
Bomb has been planted.
Again, it's teetering on the edge. Legacy running low on funds. And TYLOO 1 step behind them. 10-9 in favor of Legacy. good control being offered up by both sides. Actually, tag leg shot there from Sadzin, catching Zero just as they were beginning to fall back away from the short control. Nade won't drag him down. Zero did not take the route to spawn.
Mercury has asked for support to be sent over. And they've not made any secrets about their positioning changes. Deep flash through, HE to pop. They want to take more fights, and Duma's in position, but he still can't get it done. Great flash from Jamyoung to give Mercury the advantage, and now he uses that toilet smoke as lurking material for himself. Jamyoung trying to provide cover fire, fully blinded up. Nissim and Lato with a collapse onto A. Lato from long, and Nissim coming right up through that smoke. Beautifully done to give Legacy their 11th.
Yeah, I mean, just a fantastic flash as well. I mean, Nissim gets set up for those two kills, courtesy of that flash past the divider smoke. Two players on TYLOO locked in, especially after the early aggression they went for to try and weasel out an advantage. I was actually very worried for Legacy, given that they felt a little locked in to this 1A bomb site take. And with them having to deal with the heavy rotations and those smokes in front of them, needed a play to be made, and that's exactly what Nissim did. So, an 11th round. Two members will survive here for TYLOO to carry over weapons into that following. G with that AWP, which hasn't been able to get really much impact at all on this map. He's either been sidelined or caught off guard, or they've just gone the complete other bomb site to him.
Yeah, he's really not been particularly happy about this, and even if MOUZ was a series where his talents might not have been needed, that is certainly no longer the case now. Especially now. AWP is the primary mode of defense that they have left over from the previous round. But G will not be given any targets at all.
It's a good move for Zero to make. There's something out in the very least. It takes the Legacy down at the same damn time. Zero does find one kill as he makes his way out to short. He deals with Lotto on the progress to B. MOUZ just chipping away at them from the other side on the USP. And it's still Zero challenging. Finally fell. USP contributing. But G out from heaven. Both players so low. Switching away from the KWP. Actually could serve him well, but as he fights them first, the quickscope won't connect, and it's the Glock of Dumao that runs him down. That 2 health, all he needs for another round for Legacy. And it's looking like TYLOO's map could come to a close as the Brazilians hope to steal it in this opening bout.
God, that was right down to the wire. If G had just pulled out his USP after hitting that first shot onto Art, which was a great flick. I mean, he doesn't have comms at the last player's low, obviously, but he definitely wins that one outright. Yeah. He's going to be regretting that when he watches the replay.
It's very upsetting because, like you said, knowledge on whether these players were as low as they were, hard to say. So many players kept swapping positions, chipped by USPs, M4 ammo as well, spamming through the wood.
Zero does a great job over here, though. Absolutely fantastic. And with the flashes delaying, the T's end up standing in Molotovs for a very long time as well. Zero is able to keep on delaying them. All of the skills is what even gives them access to that round, but access is now denied, and Legacy is hoping to take this to Ancient with their heads held very far up high. Fast play into B, and MOUZ already found Zero. His success from before, now long gone. 2 for 2 all in all as they go into the B bomb site. So TYLOO's not without options, not without choices. G makes that one better. Deep grenade. Art, I think, was fully blinded out by his own teammate's flashbang, but he might have the advantage over here on the peek back over, but wants to use a smoke just in case. It'll give MOUZ more time to come in from behind. Nassim and the Mercury to come in from behind. Nassim fully blinded up. Great flashbang. Leaves Art alone in a 1 versus 2. Both positions known, but G shoots right through the smoke. And TYLOO will find 10.
Okay, I mean, it's a bit of a miraculous moment there for TYLOO. G getting the better of Sadzin, and then also, you know, couple that with a flash to Monster, shot through smoke. A lot of things lining up rather well. Jamyoung doing a great job as well of just kind of covering 4-0 in what was a pretty devastating opening loss. Died to a Mac 10 swinging Monster. Not for Jamyoung's double. They maybe don't have the ability to fight back in. 2-round game. TYLOO trailing and only hoping that they can push to OT. But will Legacy allow that? Play it for Sadzin, but the SMG of Lado is not conducive to a long-range duel. Thought about it for a second, boosting G up, but decided against it. A lot of progress could have been made. No one covering from connector or serving as a presence inside of the bathroom. Seems it'll be a
Art is putting
finish.
himself into a dangerous position regardless of where this finish might be. With utility being used, he should have an idea of where Mercury is. This flash delays, otherwise he's thinking of a backstab. Should Art find a kill here with the amount of time that's left? And G going down, Art can definitely make this backstab work. Comes in from behind, rotations will be called, and Legacy, with these 2 kills, have already won this game.
Oh, no.
TYLOO, no! Through the smoke, Jamyoung gets 2. He's been left alone just in case, and he is the true safety net. The parachute has slowed down the free fall, but there's still 10 seconds left. Sadzin closes the distance, Glock in hand, trying to take a duel with Heaven. Realizes he's got no choice and has to back off the safety. How have TYLOO won this?
You were ready to write it off. I mean, why wouldn't you? Sadzin and Art both get their kills they need to on A. The A bomb site is clear. Had the bomb just been hovering connector, what? They might have been able to route the right way. But they have to walk through a smoke and he get run down, spammed by Jamyoung. That's the only way TYLOO win the round. It was the only way.
That kill onto G as well is just so slimy.
Dirty. Yeah.
And they don't have money anymore.
It's a bit heartbreaking there for Legacy. Yeah, money's bad. Saving those weapons does create some threats. But they had an open... If they get 2 kills, they have an open sight.
Prescient from Jamyoung. And now, as long as they can get this round, TYLOO can forget about the struggles they've had on their own map pick. As long as they can reset to overtime, TYLOO can move ahead and beyond. But like you said, Michael, this round comes with threats. And Lato, who is 23 and 16, now holding the AK, having Doom out a bait for him, is certainly one of them. 0. Good for 1, good for 2, hides away. There's no Molotov to flush him out. No reason for him to peek, but he'll do it anyway. Under the cover of the smoke, damage dealt in through it. 4 CTs on B. I did write them off, Michael, but turns out that they don't know how to read in English, Michael.
No matter what you write, great boost. Catches a kill, finally deals with zero. Problematic player over at the barrels. And Nissim is still hunting for more heads. Mercury out from spawn, wide swing, will catch a great timing himself. And so wounded Art and Sadzin remain on short. Art will go out first, Sadzin a 1-on-4 ahead of him, and there is simply too many angles to clear and not enough time to do it. It will be MOUZ that finally puts it to rest. We go to OT. TYLOO pushing the boundaries of it. They trailed 3, and it looked like Legacy were going to lock things down on TYLOO's map pick, but we run it back.
Legacy have looked so convincing in really pretty much all
so many of
the
rounds.
series. I mean, let's not forget TYLOO have won both their pistols. Yes, they didn't convert in the first half pistol round, but they did in the second.
And they'll know they'll have to reinforce that B bomb site when they swap sides, but right now they're trying to figure out a solution to cracking through the TYLOO defense, because they've come close, but they've not always pulled through on those moments. A little bit of a slow start for Zero, but no round more important than the last round of regulation to finally have a really solid performance in that B defense. Locked them away from Monster, did so much damage onto a third player as well. Legacy will be a little demoralized, I think, with some of the rounds that they've lost, but
yeah,
gonna have to put that one behind them.
Champion spots out the feed, didn't have his gun ready and waiting. I don't think Dumao was able to spot him out either.
That's what's actually so annoying about that sandbag boost peering into con is that, yeah, as a T-side player, you actually can't see them. Camera.
Yeah, at best you can chance a spam.
And you see some players try and like jump into the angle or hard pre-aim it, but it's very difficult. Becomes a highlight when you hit it.
Sadson with the AWP is pushing up and beyond. He realizes that he has to transfer the bomb back over to Art. Chance is there. Mosea able to back himself away from that scope. Mercury's the one to watch out for. He's up to no good. Knows that AWP was out on towards long. He would really like to be able to find it, but as he makes the call to rotate backwards, his B bomb site is going to be repopulated. Jamyoung once again prepared. 18 seconds on the clock. Mercury's demise should not matter. Jamyoung again in the perfect position, and as they start to move up and through short, they realize how many players they have to deal with. G and Jamyoung here on this B bomb site will stop the plant, will stop any thought that Legacy have of walking on and getting the plant.
There was full belief, 100% confidence that they'd made the right call. There was a fake smoke thrown from long by Legacy into the A bomb site. They didn't bat an eye. No one hesitated, rotated back, or anything. They fully commit everybody that they can into B. And yeah, you're right. If you're Legacy, you're thinking, how on earth has this happened? First real hyper-proactive move made by Mercury to get information in a mid to late round. And they call it completely correctly.
Peeking back out, Dumao is able to get the better of him. HE goes deep. Dumao's already dodged out the damage by moving forward and leaving it behind. They already knew he was there. It's fine.
Yeah, they knew he was in that general area. They're actually starting to drift towards the A-bomb site. There's a massive gap that's been created. Jiangyang does not have his gun ready.
0. Oh
This is
god,
brave.
0 is in an all or nothing position, hoping to find them with utility in their hands, but Art never want to make a mistake like it. Moves up, plants a bomb. TYLOO will be looking to regain control of a lost bomb site in a way which really doesn't feel possible. They still have a Molotov. They still have 5 flashes amongst them. So if they want to start taking fights, they even can hop into that. Sadzin making his way over. Cut off and blocked by the smoke, but as G finds the first, Jamyang will find. He's got a player right next to him. G's doubled up, and Jamyang had the opportunity to set up MOUZ for success. When he doesn't find even a single kill, though, Legacy can find that 13th round that they've been thirsting after for so long.
Yeah, good quick assembly on that boost as well to short. If not for that, then there actually would have been this pathway. They would have had to maybe even toy around with running through that short smoke when the tap on the bomb happens. Even in the 2-on-1, that can feel very uncomfortable. Yeah, well handled towards the end. It was a weaker of the 2 bomb sites. But a very brave decision by Zero. He called it. You were saying you're trying to catch a player with utility. What a player with utility. There were just 3 other players that had their guns ready to go and punish him. So a very
feels a bit unfair. Why are you guys allowed to have 4 players when I only have 1?
No, not many people would brave the smoke the way he did, so.
Jamyang's
so annoying if you're Doom out. That's just how it is as a connection player. You're not smoke it instantly, but Nissan took space on short and Zero gets his head ripped off.
I'm surprised Nissan braves that when Jamyang had that boost set up early on as well. Awkward timing for Zero to be pushing over to wood, don't get me wrong. Hard. Over and around the corner he goes. He's really asking for trouble and he will receive. With Duma low, they don't really have any effective way of controlling Mercury in this position. Should he want to stay here, he can. G should on paper be enough to deal with what's coming in from long.
That's not ideal. They smoke the train off just as it passes. But it doesn't mean that monster is wide open. And Nissim capitalizing on some chaos. Fresh smoke down on short. He's carved out the track they need to make their way to B. And someone better even catches the rotate.
Tarzan. Yeah.
Running rings around TYLOO. 2 rounds in the overtime here for Legacy, where those moments were fleeting before. They find a whole lot of success, and they outmaneuver TYLOO like they had done in regulation. But this time they close the rounds.
Can they close the map is a separate question entirely. Let's not forget TYLOO's success over on the B-bomb site. Even if it did feel awfully singular to the B-bomb site.
Well, if I'm Art, I am expecting a B hit. In the first 2 rounds of this overtime, I am expecting a B hit. Like you said, that's the only place that properly had success.
You're Art to me.
Thanks, man.
Wait, just to say, I thought you were washed until 6 months ago, and you actually turned out pretty good, man.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah. We're all seeing an uptick recently. Like, just enjoyed the end of spring and the start of summer. TYLOO enjoyed summer for some time, but that was a different time.
And somebody had to ruin it. The question is, Lato, who's already had his day ruined, how much can he actually get done over here? And will that make a difference under TYLOO's attempts over to A? Sadzin was generally pretty good at dealing with them all on his own, some. TYLOO have decided not to make this an early B site finish.
That lurk smoke will make it very difficult for Sadzin to lock things down by himself. Limits his angle capabilities. They can also lurk through the other edge of the smoke, so backup's called over. Art and Lato joining the fray.
Re-aggression over here from Art could be a mistake.
He's a curious cat.
And he's silent as 1-2. Yuta will reveal positions. TYLOO stalled it out. MOUZ with the instant kill onto Art. Headshot for headshot, and the AK turns out the better. Lato will be low, but Sadzin at least brings numbers back in their favor, and Lato can take that MOUZ head-to-head. But while the bomb is planted, remember, Nassim is still far, far away. He's not going to be relevant to this round for the longest time. Lato wasn't giving much either. They've heard Jamyang, and now he's down on the ground. An advantage that TYLOO felt like they would have had in the post round now suddenly lost, and Nassim can become a lot more relevant when he faces down MOUZ on the other side. MOUZ has been given duty to watch out for this connector player, but Nassim just gets the better of him. Mercury and G closing out the distance. Sadzin up close and personal. G's able to take them off the bomb, and now he only has to play time. Sadzin is not on the defuse. G knows this round is won. TYLOO will take it away. What a performance in the post one from G.
Yeah, both him and Mercury getting the kills they need, but in that chaos, Legacy knew they took way too much time once they actually get into the bomb site and they realize there's only one player with a proper foothold. As soon as G gets his kill, dealing with that flank, all eyes could just be drawn onto that bomb. I thought he might have made a mistake, if I'm being totally honest with you. He swung so wide on that first tap that it almost felt like there was a chance. But yeah, ran out of time there for Sadzin. Solo move
Nassim does well to get one there.
Instant trades and fast kill in from Zero as well. Flashes are good, but it's just one for ones, and they just cannot afford that when they're that one man down to start.
Bomb has been planted.
Lato and Sadzin's best bet over here might be to get a boost out and see if they can make a play off of it. But TYLOO should be expecting that. They shouldn't be exposing themselves to the one angle that they have to expect. (2v2) Legacy are waiting for the smokes to dissipate. They're not waiting for the smokes to dissipate. Never mind. Why is the AWP pushing the smoke while Lato's backing off?
Listen, Sadzins been playing pretty damn good. He just thought he might be able to get away with it, and that just simply wasn't the case. Lato picks up the 8 WP at the very least. It's the most expensive weapon, and one that they almost certainly could not afford coming to this last round of this first overtime. Chance for TYLOO to close. A position they didn't hold before the overtimes. Position they've not held this game. But here they sit with a chance.
And if they want the opportunity to play in front of the home crowd, a win in this series over Legacy would be the easiest path to it. But with Domao doubling up, he doesn't want to give them their own map pick too easily.
kind of soft info on 2 players there for G, but going to get caught in awkward timing if decides to swing into him. A little jiggle there from Art. Another 3-on-5. Someone on TYLOO is going to have to make some kind of move independently here. Ideally, it would be the one with the least resources, but with Jamyoung starting this round on an island, still holds a lot of his belt. Jamyoung and G seeing if they can cause some kind of chaos. That's the monster for Mercury. Nissim too good. So 1-on-5 now here for G. AK in hand and trying to just run into this A play. So there are 3 in proximity and they time the double swing well. We go to another overtime here on our opening map between TYLOO and Legacy. Neither can close on Overpass.
And it does feel like we've gotten to that point where Legacy are going to have the depth of their strat book tested. I mean, I said it what seems like an age ago now, but this is the first time they're playing unofficial on Overpass since March. This team does not play Overpass very often. They don't ban it, sure, but they don't really want it played. And getting into that post-30 round mark, you're damn right they're out of strats. And there need to be some new ones made or called on the go.
For TYLOO, they've been in this position before. I mean, not typically overtimes, but their games on Overpass typically are quite close, whether that's against regional opposition or against international. But let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Look at the face of this elephant. That's what happens when you've been exposed to too much violence. He's so sad.
The sun doesn't move here, and that thing has not moved in many years.
That's why I always shoot the elephant, put it out of its misery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm nice like that.
Can't tell
It's also the only thing I can actually connect with. Then I pop the balloons. Sometimes take me 3 bullets.
Must be the hitboxes.
I agree. A little bit of a change-up. Sadzin this time over is going to be on this B-bomb site. It is Lato who has been left as the caretaker.
Yeah, minor change-up just to get that AWP engaged on the other side of the map, especially with TYLOO leaning B in regulation. Makes sense that Sadzin's there to disrupt any sort of monster presence, but nothing has really peaked monster for some time, and so reinforcements has arrived here for Lato.
At the same time, there's not really any information gained for either side. It looks to be a full-scale execution out on A. The Molotov on Tamao is good. It does displace him, and a second one at the back of Dice means Art has been forced back. But TYLOO are taking their sweet time with this. As a flashbang pops out behind Lato, he still gets taken down. TYLOO will just brute force entry onto it after a great set of execute utility.
Well, it's the first round of the second overtime. Even if it is a 2-on-4, you still hazard a bit of a chance at it, but they just feel too out of position. They lost the site too quickly. So Nissim and Sadzin will save. I mean, that entry from Jamyoung, he shouldn't win that. The flash went too far, lands behind the opposing player. He does like almost a 180 flick. Without that kill, they probably get stopped over at long. That first emergent from the smoke is typically the most important. So yeah, they do just fight through the defense. Legacy did have the information they needed. The only problem area they had to really be concerned about was short or connector. But with them playing 3A, given that Sadson sometimes held that thing by himself, they were certainly expecting more. There have been many moments, I think, of genuine frustration here for Legacy. I find that frustration is often linked to unmet expectations. And they're expected to win many of the rounds that have happened on this map, but that has not always been the case. So very tricky position now for Doomao. Hey, he might have been flashed, but if no one's around to see it,
the man's spotting is impeccable. Legacy are getting zero information, but with that kill, that unlocks the entire map. There's no longer going to be any rotations coming through to reinforce on B. Jamyang just isn't going to be that player. He has to find kills on the A site itself. He's realizing this as well. But with 25 seconds left on the clock, he might be better off trying to stop this post plant from going to the dogs instead. But that post plant will never come out. Bombs left behind Monster Tunnel. Zero had to go back and recover it. Instead, he's going to die. Jamyang is in the most unachievable 1 versus 5 I might have ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, gets his 1 kill, but no time on the clock, so he'll carry this forward instead. 2 saves in 2 rounds in the OT. Not often you see that. But I would disagree with your statement of no information. They had a ton. Deep position out to Monster with the AWP. Strong position from Doomao on short as well. Knows that the 2 main pathways to B are cut off. It was in that middle connector area, but because the round was brewing and they had this 3 on A, they tried playing 3 on A inside of the site. Didn't work out. So they clear for info with that flash, and they get a nice advantage. They get an idea of what was supposed to be coming their way.
See the camera view? That's what I was, Michael. I was myopic. I blocked out too much.
Ah, what do you do for blocking out all them haters?
Why are you all so mean? Legacy want to bring in a mean streak to this last round for this overtime's first half.
Okay.
Oh, Zero taken down by Art's boost. Art's been a menace to anyone out in connector, and TYLOO did replicate some of that same success, but often it was damage, not kills.
Looked like a full timing spam as well, so didn't feel like there was much that prompted that. Good intuition from the in-game leader.
I am surprised to see them rotating back to A so quickly with multiple players, not just the one. Art decides that might have been a bad decision as well. Makes his way over, quick flashbang through. MOUZ completely blinded, but Doomao doesn't want to take the peek. It's the same who will play first contact, and that is almost a lineup. Doomao swings back out for a second, but will not find it. Art has to collect instead. Backs off to safety behind in water, and where there's still cover fire coming in from Lado, it's Sadson who's still yet to rotate. Bomb now recovered. TYLOO will be making their way back over. HE's going deep, but not doing damage. Art still the primary player you have to deal with. Sadson, HE and Incendiary at the ready. HE will go deep. Art has taken down the bomb planter before it can go down, and Lato through the smoke will collect on number 17. What a round coming out from Art.
Yeah, just, I mean, marvelous stuff. Made the over-rotation like you noted, but gets there in time to help support his teammates. Flash thrown so that they can slow down the monster crawl. and then just contributing nicely, didn't overexpose himself to basically any fight that followed on the site proper. And just like that, Legacy have a lead. We'll go back into that T side. They had encountered some troubles there. Well, they both did, really. That's typically how we end up in an overtime. But they'll have to try and capture some of that same flair that got them into some of the advantages that they just couldn't close out on in regulation or even in that first OT. So I would wonder if they've got anything extra up their sleeve. Is there another pocket strategy that they can pull out? Or will they rely on the continuing strong form of their stars? Pato Dumao 29 and 27 kills, respectively.
It's not half bad.
TYLOO, almost as many rounds, not nearly as many kills. And I know enough about the fans out there. They enjoy some good old-fashioned fragging.
You might get to see that over here. T and Mercury are going for a standard banana setup. But it's hard to rotate back over to long with this. So they will be quite committed to the cause unless they let go of it early. And now with 50 seconds left on the clock, going back into the bomb site in itself will need some clearing to do. MOUZ is making his way over just in case he needs to provide that assistance. But TYLOO will be staying course with at most 2 players here on B. Mercury losing his life early on. Lato's the one to take him down. And with 35 seconds left on the clock, TYLOO are still uncertain on where Legacy want to commit. They're going to try and clear out their own smoke on Monster on the other side, but now 25. MOUZ gets confirmation, but he gets it with a bullet to the head.
20 seconds.
G has to perform. They're coming out wide with the peaks. First one down. G's got a lot more to deal with where that came from. And where Art finds elevation, he's found the perfect angle to take down this Chinese AWPer. TYLOO are going to be left to save.
Oh, that's a bit of a sweat off the brow of Legacy. They get the opening thereafter. They find the follow-up. They catch MOUZ in a bad timing when he's trying to transition into a one-and-done angle. But if G had found some kind of multi-kill on the site, things could have still been weird. They just grind so much time off that clock. So 2 chances to close out in OT number 2 here for Legacy. Secured.
Terrorists win.
It is honestly kind of just surprising, given how many opening kills Legacy have found throughout this entire map. Nissim, I think, is the only player that's had that has a bad record in opening duels so far this map. And that's 3 and 4. The rest, everyone else is either positive or tied.
You would expect a team like that to have already closed it out.
Yeah,
but TYLOO have shown
you wouldn't get
impressive
those,
mental fortitude. Yeah, I mean, TYLOO's showed us impressive mental fortitude in some of these late round situations.
Well, they're back to bubbling bottles. Hopefully popping bottles. Win this and put themselves in a great position to close the series and reach the playoffs. That one has been a real test of patience and fortitude, like you mentioned. But it could also be one of redemption. TYLOO have struggled and they trail in these 2 rounds, but sometimes all it takes is a little bit of motivation and you can find the openers that have eluded you. MOUZ off angle, MOUZ jiggles it. So MOUZ won't stick around to find out if there's more where that came from.
They start to make the rotation back over towards B from both teams. It's all about timings, and Jamyang needs to buy time. Only 1 kill might not be enough. Zero's been playing the same angle he has so many times over. They know where he is. It's exactly how he likes to play. But as he backs off, at least he'll guarantee the 1. Is that enough? Incendiary goes deep. It doesn't look like it'll be doing much at all. Flashes galore. G drops down into water, taking damage as he does so. Finds Sugsin at the rate he's going. It might be Lato as well. No! Lato gets the better of him, but Art is a trade. Lato comes in from the side, spots out the head. Somebody call it! Somebody call it! Finally gets it done! Legacy on 19, and it's blindsided, sure, but it's blinded by his own beauty. What in the world is going on from Lato? 33 kills to close out that match.
Oh man, I mean, so clutch. So many big kills throughout this map, and it still didn't seem to matter with how close this overtime.
Small little weaknesses. That's where he asked for his teammates to go for, their own freedom plays. That's where he himself makes a lot of pushes, gets great calls, gets great reads. As an IGL, I think Ancient, for me, has always been probably Art's best map.
Yeah, I don't know that I share that same assessment. Maybe I haven't watched enough of Art in Fluxo, perhaps, to say that with confidence. But with Legacy, I mean, he has looked pretty. This is the map where I have seen the most development in terms of that pace change that I've noted with Legacy over time. Whether that's moving into more executions or having a couple more protocols. Yeah, the map does look more refined than previous iterations.
Pushing forward, Zero, double kill coming through. Good to see him activated early on. Took him some time to come alive in Overpass, but as Lato will find a few too many players in front of him, Sugsin is in fact a trade. Lato's still unable to find that second kill. Finally does do so, but now without bullets to follow, G will put him to bed.
Yeah, not really sure what the plan is there for Lato. Once he switches to that knife, kind of have to commit to the reload at some point or another, but good positions there for TYLOO to deal with what was a actually very pacey start for Legacy. With the breach into red, played that sort of bait and switch setup with Zero in the corner, and stopped Legacy right in their tracks. The winning pistols is a great way to start. Doesn't guarantee you the map win though. You're learning out the hard way. It's all pace here for Legacy at the start of this map. Straight with a force buy, taking space towards A. 1-for-1 exchange. MOUZ trying to close the gap and create a perimeter around CT spawn, but as he goes in, he'll actually catch Mercury on that rotate, catches MOUZ as well. Was typically such a power combo. There's suddenly this pathway carved over towards the B side, so Art trucks it with that smoke deployed right behind him. Bomb on back. B-side plant, but he doesn't have anyone there to help safeguard it in the after.
They're splitting up between Zero and Jamyang as well. Jamyang is low, and the idea that he's going to be moving past a crossfire here seems preposterous. And will start to move over and back. Jamyang does the same. Had he moved in for the backstab, maybe it was something that could have been done, but the CTs are going to be forced to save. The double kill from MOUZ completely unlocks this round, and Art only has to take advantage of it. Jamyang?
Terrorists.
Okay, well, now it's turned bad. Couple of moments there for Jamyang. Dies even after the bomb had already gone off. Yeah, if Jamyang had taken that timing, he actually would have blindsided 2 players. Which meant the retake was on, but he didn't take the risk. And doesn't even get away with his weapon. So win a pistol, lose to a force buy. Sad state of affairs for the Chinese.
Sounds awfully like Overpass's beginning.
Yeah.
Double OT?
See you there.
G, 45 back before the 6th round mark, this time over. But he's taking damage, asking for rotations, and the D's have yet to make a commitment.
Yeah, if you get smoked off so early like this in a main, you kind of have to cancel. So I like that that's the decision made here by Legacy. Still a lot of the map to play. Okay. Yeah, man, caught out in the open with an HE and 0. We'll at least collect one back. Still, there's options available. Smoke at the doors over at B is fading relatively soon. And some presence noted over towards B lane. Mercury's still toying with that idea. Does some damage, but tucks himself back. Art. Some initiative. Even capturing the kill onto 0. He took damage earlier on. But actually not continuing to progress on the A play is a little surprising. Lato now clearing things out. And now they have information on MOUZ. That bomb will go over to A. No problems. MOUZ just will pick up the Galil. And hope to keep that for the following round.
Bomb has been planted.
Now, Michael, you talked about how TYLOO, traditionally, this has been a map where they have actually tried to take on some of their regional opposition to a fairly high caliber. Often, this is a map that they try and steal away from international opposition where they feel like they can do well too. But what's interesting is that in this newest iteration of TYLOO, MOUZ and Mercury have their worst statistical performances on Ancient by far compared to any other map in the pool. Their drop-off in this is just shockingly high, and I don't know why that is, I'll be frank with you, because traditionally speaking, Ancient kind of was a map where we saw both of them find success.
Yeah. When they weren't calling. Or one of them wasn't calling.
Yeah.
Hey, Mercury just has a bad read.
Well, speaking of a bad read,
This one's 50-50, you know? They either come to the bomb site you stack or they don't.
Come on, Art. I see you feeling hungry for those kills with a Mac 10. Oh, Tech 9 as well. All right. Oh, God, those ecos feel so good.
All things considered, if this does go OT, we're getting there a hell of a lot quicker than we did on Overpass. Because Legacy have been pacey so far on this T side. Rushing on the pistol, in the 4-spot, and even against the anti-ecos.
Hey, Zed does well to get one there.
Like, yep.
G will be able to afford up the AWP coming into the first gun round for the CT side.
See if they can do anything to slow down this pace. Because Legacy, so I'm trying to sell people on this idea that they have slowed things down. But if the fast plays are working as swimmingly as they have been, why stop?
Good question. But with Art having been taken down, maybe they'll be forced to stop. That's maybe more of the response from TYLOO that you'd expect to see now that the guns have come out. Nassim is coming in from behind, and with the money as it is for the T side, this feels like much more likely of a commitment to happen. Good kill found too. And with the CTs locked away, a smoke from Nassim could just unlock this entire map, but unfortunately for him, Lato finds the players re-aggressing to try and get themselves out of this mouse trap. I forget that the bomb was dropped. Legacy did not.
Yeah, kind of a important core component of
Counter-Strike?
making the T side function. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need that thing. I mean, it's on the site, so I mean that's half the job done.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't someone have just like pulled some wires, popped it off? You know, those weird Call of Duty perks where you drop a grenade when you're dying?
Yeah, and that's why those games are stupid.
They are so stupid. 25 seconds, the team might be better off looking for the save here. But a kill?
Yeah.
He'll take that too.
Bomb's close. Okay, well now it's impossible. So got that extra kill. Got the balanced Molotov. And he's out of there. 2 survivors here for TYLOO, but they get their hands on a second round.
Counter-terrorists win.
Well, they wanted to keep the pace high until it stopped working, and, well, it stopped working. So, I expect a more default round here from Legacy coming up. Respecting the utility of anti-rush protocols. That's what I expect. But Art is a man that has defied many expectations over his career. Cute idea. Tadzin nestled himself into the corner. They flashed it. They blew open the smoke without dealing damage to him, just to see if they catch anybody going for a fast ledge play.
Man has to be careful over here. If he keeps on going for the jump spot, it feels inevitable, but it's G who dies instead. Jamyoung's sins will be avenged. Zero takes down MOUZ and brings it back to a 4 versus 4. Mid's been left empty, largely by both teams. But both will be quick to repopulate. TYLOO are stacking closer towards his B-bomb site. Then maybe they should. A has been left completely empty. They're expecting Zero to be here. They're expecting to have to at least take down 1 player. So they will take their time with this, but with 35 seconds left on the clock, Art is enough of a distraction as he makes his way into the bomb site to make this at least a guaranteed 3 versus 4 post-spawn.
I mean, smoke just faded. They find Art just before it does, and so they now realize that they're on the wrong side of the map. But now a question about whether you commit to the retake or not. I mean, they have kits, they have a smoke, but there could be very forward positions here for Legacy in the after plant.
Shot miss, smoke miss, that's critical. MOUZ coming in from behind. This is a gift that's been given to them. Nassim, the only player who can really get an eye line out on them. And with him only having an AK-47, this doesn't feel like the best weapon for the job. Mercury coming in from behind, Satsun taken down, and 1 versus 3. Nassim's got so much to do and he can't even deal with the MP9.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yep, getting that smoke that's down. All that's needed as well. Miss smoke from Sadzin did feel fairly consequential. Even if he tried to make use of it to find angles around the bomb site. Missed his shot, and there's just too many numbers to deal with. It was a great opener, but being able to catch these kills just as players were crossing through smokes that gave TYLOO that extra edge they needed to tow it over the line. 3-3 now. And a quick boost up for Sadzin over on speed round. Boost on elbow as well. But no success here for Legacy. Losing a member. Jamyoung down to 12 health.
Jamyoung wants to regress forward. Or rather wait for someone to come in, and it's an easy one.
That's a very
Picked
great
up.
position at 12 health.
Hey. He's nothing if not brave.
Well, he's like a very passive player a lot of the time. So
He's changed that recently.
he has some positional swaps.
And it takes bravery to change yourself, Mike.
Yeah, I guess.
Let me be right for once,
Yeah,
damn you.
no, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's true. It's just like not how I would have categorized brave, but you know, in the right framing, I suppose.
Not everyone has to be going in first to be brave.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I get that. I'm agreeing with you, just reluctantly.
The only way you know how. It's going to be a very slow save from Legacy. No one to hunt. TYLOO would like to maintain their economy. And for Legacy, it's plenty of time to discuss what kind of changes need to be made coming into that next round.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yeah, them slowing things down has not exactly helped in their endeavors so far. But especially with so much of a focus towards cave early from TYLOO. Without isolated, they're leaving their long player as well. A B burst might not be too bad. Of course, there's been some mid focus as well from TYLOO. It's about how they caught the opening kill in that previous round. Those are the two hotly contested areas on the map that, you know, from either coaches or in-game leaders, I think a lot of have weighed in comment on Ancient, and that mid-control can sometimes just be a bit of a 50-50. Well, it's based on how much utility you're willing to expend, whether you fall into it, whether or not the flashes are as effective as they could be. It'd just be such a brawl. But TYLOO commit to that mid-control, and so they leave that A bomb site unguarded in the opening 10. It's a bad way to start, though. I just wanted to get deep position over to lane, and instead loses his life for the trouble. And a smoke has bloomed at A, so good awareness here from TYLOO. To think that this game, I mean, their opening 4 rounds they played out, just all rush plays.
So fast.
It was actually staggering considering how slow and drawn out things were on Overpass. Of course, that is a characteristic of the map.
Michael, this is a very dangerous spot for Legacy to be walking into. Zero, who has a flash and an incendiary, but he's not feeling comfortable deploying it. Flash comes out. Incendiary will not be able to stop them from boosting, so Jamyang should be taken down by MOUZ the second he takes that peek. MOUZ's not going to settle for the 1. He's found the second as well. And with 20 seconds, MOUZ player to crack things back to a 3 versus 3. But while the bomb is being planted, CTs will only get positioned. Those positions now forsaken. Mercury taken down on the flashbang from G is supposed to be what spurs MOUZ on. It does succeed in bringing Nassim off of the angle with the AWP, but how do you actually recover this bomb? A second flash, it's another kill. MOUZ can do all he wants, but with the smoke giving cover, MOUZ being given far too much, and G missing the shot means MOUZ has to take the peek, but still doesn't take the risk. G's AWP enough to sway him away, but those 2 flashes are really what settled it for MOUZ.
Yeah, it just made it so that Sadzing couldn't get any real impact from his position inside of main. Lato was inside the site, isolated. MOUZ's position not conducive to really supporting his teammates on the site itself. He was playing purely for the after plans. That hope was in such a tough position to deal with. I'm sorry, it was Nissim inside of main with that AWP.
It's also just... Oh, Batman goes down early on. Zero will trade, but he's peeking into a lot more where that came from. That's why Mercury has to be involved. Legacy, who are hoping for success on this 4 buy, or at a half buy, still feel like they're going to be struggling for a while. TYLOO is comfortably paving the roads to try and walk towards 6.
Oh, they're just, I mean, they have 3B. So they have to make some kind of move for information or start rotating away. And they know that there's a timing that could be hit where that rotate could be severed. So they push forward instead.
Legacy might take too long over here. MOUZ peeks out, gets a win. doesn't have anyone else reveal position either. Remember, Zero and Jamyang are both dead. Those are the two players who are generally going to be leaning back towards A. But Art is called to come to B. Even if they get the kill on MOUZ, which will not happen as the bomb is revealed, G is still here. And the smoke isn't going to give you any cover at all. I am shocked that they turn out towards the B bomb site.
Okay, they will have known it was a double push. But maybe they... There's so many angles to clear on A as well. They damage to do damage we don't, I suppose. I don't disagree. Once you spot out that they've gone for that push, only got confirmation on one player, in fairness.
This time over, it's Jumao, who has been a very good hand despite the struggles that Legacy have been having. Comes back in. Sats in. Taking away Mercury's life. TYLOO perhaps getting a little bit overzealous.
They might not know that they can be Red Room. Okay, now the timing opens up. They were holding on to it. Even with Jamyang dismantling the boost. Goes out wide, and that's another kill for Dumao. 10-6, but in these past 4 rounds, he's been able to get multi-kill in 3 of them, I believe. And G's push dealt with as well. This didn't actually look like a great opening exchange from Legacy. They ate the util. They looked like it could have been in an uncomfortable spot, but TYLOO were not much better in terms of being hit by those status effects and took bullets to the head as well, so...
Yeah, I'd like to see if we have the replay of Mercury's death over there more than anything else. That's what unsettles the scales so much. And I don't think we do. TYLOO call out a timeout for themselves to calm things down slightly.
I'm not sure that this is an entirely justified timeout. And sometimes the mid fights it's just a bit of a give and take.
Yeah. Okay, we don't have the Mercury kill. All right, that's fine. I just felt like Mercury peeked out kind of late afterwards when there wasn't anyone else, and then the op was covering him off over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still, either way, at least it's good to see MOUZ being able to defy his general statistics, doing very well for himself, 12-6 so far. MOUZ creeps forward. Lateral has been isolated because of that one CT smoke, and as he turns around, this might be a good time to go forward and push. Spam in itself would be enough, but MOUZ feels worried about giving up position. Mercury being traced out by those grenades, but this A side is what really has a target on its back. Lateral will move back. He's likely the player who will be asked to smoke CT. As Naseem pushes forward, he's spotted out. Zero takes him down. Naseem was not supposed to have the advantage in that one, and Art comes out swinging. 5 versus 3. TYLOO have no choice but to save.
Yeah, it's a really bad fight to lose. Nissim, his legs are spotted first. I'm sure you really want to aim for the pelvis or the head, really, if you're using the M4 A1S. But still, that should have been a guaranteed first kill, and it just makes the job of Zero that much harder. It's just a slow contact play into A that does everything Legacy needs. Attempted escape and just covering his teammates back as Mercury turns his attention in the wrong direction. He's getting spammed, but not to completion. So 2 survivors here for TYLOO. A 6-5 lead for the Chinese. But Legacy are bridging that gap very quickly. They are in a very good position as well to tie things up. It's just about finding the right solution. Tried rushing for a while. That got stopped. They're going for the mid takes. Mixed results. The A finishes have come down to TYLOO retakes. This has been a successful area. Either from the entries or being able to get access to deep red room. Legacy have cut a hole through the map.
MOUZ waiting for the peek from MOUZ. MOUZ will do it dry without utility. This is where DeMao could even come through with a chance for a double kill. Three, shadow spotted, a freebie, and where there's one, there's two. DeMao gets them both. Rotation from the B-bomb site disabled. Jamyoung is low, spotted out, and damage should be confirmed, but as Zero peeks out and deals damage of his own, the incendiary will be snuffed out by his own teammate Smoke. G's demise means his B-bomb site is open, and 7th round of a hair will be hard for TYLOO to find in the first half, unless Zero can pull off the clutch of his career. M4 switched out into. Sadzin AWP spotted out and pushed away, but as much damage as he has dealt, the backstab is inevitable. Naseem coming in from behind, the slow walk forward, and Zero should be a dead man.
Oh.
No, he's going for the knife. Maybe let's not. Naseem will put it to bed. 6-6. Legacy coming through.
He really wanted to knife him, but that would have probably been a mistake to commit to. So, I mean, another massive round from Dumao. 2 kills out from Red Room, just that forward lurk. Then Lato finding the way out, because the A-bomb site actually was well guarded. Smoke down, gets spammed by the FAMAS. Lined up, unfortunately, inside of main as well. So if Lato didn't find that kill into Cheetah, then yeah, this round might have blown up in a man deficit. TYLOO almost managed out of it. But that's why that Dumao-Lato combo, pretty damn good.
And when we look out towards the counterparts on TYLOO, I mean, you look out towards Jamyoung, he's not really had this start to this half that you would like him to have. You look out towards potentially G on the CT side. By no fault of his own, very often he was just away from the action, but he's not been able to get that sort of activation. Now going to the T side, you can't imagine things become easier.
Well, Legacy could make their lives easier by winning the pistol. 3 sets of dualies are out on the field, all with armor behind them.
It's going to be a fast play from TYLOO over towards the B-bomb site. Naseem has got the flashbang ready and waiting to try and push his teammates forward, but with the deep smoke from TYLOO, he is cut off and away. 5 versus 5 retake required. G's been left behind. They try and deal with the inevitable flankers. Is he ready for them to be this speedy, though? As he will be caught in timings, has to make sure that he doesn't get taken down. Nice peek out wide. Art is on the deck. Lato asks for company to come over. Lato gets the 1-for-1, but as flashes go out, remember, they don't have kits. They sacrifice that by going for these extra dualies, but can those dualies even work? Naseem with the 1 quick kill found. It's still going to be Dumao, who's already started to run away. They know they don't have time left. Legacy will have to concede.
Yep, TYLOO taking both pistols. Only one survivor either side. Coming away from that pistol round. But armors would have had to be reinvested into anyway. Yeah, 3 sets of dualies does feel a bit excessive. That didn't really play much of a factor in this round. Legacy's push got mitigated by just simply being in the wrong spot to capitalize. Not went to a fast timing either. Great flash.
Art could not be blinder.
Yeah. He was loving the Mag 7. He's been loving it. But he'd prefer to see when he shoots. Because that jumping Mag 7, that might be one of the most frustrating ways to die in the game.
All the better to put it down. B bomb site has been left empty. Nassim is crab walking back over to put himself in a position to defend, and I think that might be a lost cause.
Yeah, doesn't even feel tempted by it. G busy clearing the flank. He'll throw a solve into the site. But he's the one with the package, so he'll have to bridge his path. There's, of course, no resistance here for Legacy. They stacked into A instead. And so TYLOO get the pistol, convert in the second round, and build a bit of a lead. Now, I am expecting something a little more off the rails for Legacy moving into the next round if they save this MP9 and 5.7 alike. May as well get into the thick of it. We can have a proper gun round after this.
Legacy will have one more chance to try and upset with their force spy. Otherwise, TYLOO on 9-6 will be feeling comfortable going into the second half. The D side is where they are hoping things will be slightly easier as well. Like when we look out towards how Legacy was able to win a lot of their rounds, like you mentioned, Michael, it was very often some good misdirection after getting full control over mid. That's not really something you have access to on the CT side.
I mean, the best you can do is really just throw a lot of the spawn-based utility, feign pressure.
And then hope it works, yeah.
It's not quite the same.
Push forward from Legacy. That's one objective. Take down MOUZ. Leaves Art behind with dualies and flashbang. You know what? That one objective, it worked. Maybe they should have set their sights higher. Rotation back over towards the A bomb site is going to be spurred on by this flashbang from Art, where he peeks out and will be able to collect the 1, 2. He didn't even have Kevlar. They might just make this work off of Art and Art alone. What in the world has he done to them?
That's actually crazy. Who buys? First off, the fact that he has dualies is crazy. But he also got so much mileage out of it. One flash through a smoke, and it's just headshots galore. Art might be Max Payne. Definitely inflicting that onto TYLOO, who, yeah, got some issues closing out versus Force Spies before. They won the second round, but they didn't get rid of all the threats. Art somehow was the biggest threat, even though he didn't even get to save his Force Spy weapon.
Now I understand why he went for the triple dually buy in the pistol, if this is the kind of impact he's used to seeing.
I don't think anybody habitually uses a 5-7 or the dualies on rounds like that.
Lato and Dumao are itching for a play. And when this util set gets chucked out over towards the A bomb site, Lato actually backs off over into B. That's where the focus is going to be, so at least he's putting his positions and attention at the right place, but MOUZ is traded quickly, and Nassim doubles up that was required, but with Dumao coming in from behind, this bomb has got nowhere to back off to. The problem is there's another backstab also being lined up. Dumao will still be able to activate, take down G, and honestly, he can just get onto the bomb and defuse entirely. He knows they were on the other side of the map, and that Molotov, ooh, boy, does it look useless.
Yep, pre-smoke on the bomb, perfect gap, well highlighted by our observers as well. You could see through the X-ray that T-side player coming, but he slides right between the two of them. And just knows that there's no other post-plant position to play from properly if you're TYLOO. So, yeah, really heads-up play. TYLOO stretching themselves too thin. Thought they'd exploit a weakened bomb site, just bursting up late. But Legacy had contingencies. I'll be honest, was very impressed with TYLOO earlier when they played against MOUZ. Sure, maybe MOUZ weren't playing at full strength.
Yeah.
You know, an absence of Torzy is kind of a big deal in my eyes for that squad. But I don't know that I've been that impressed with how they've been approaching the game. The shots could be cool, but you're gonna need more than that down the road.
Well, into the B bomb side, that road seems to be pretty clear cut. Get kills, get killed. Aren't very often the one to be delivering those killing blows. 10 to 12 might not seem impressive, but trust me, this CT side has been very heavily held up by him. Bomb can't be planted without making this a 1-on-3 for G, so Mercury wants to look for a duel first and foremost. Molly's and G's coming through, and Mercury misses the timing. They're going to lose 2 to Art. He lines them up. I don't know how he got them both in such quick succession, but you know what, Art? I believe in you ever since that duel each round.
Yeah, one from Ramp and the other one close enough that, yeah, they do unfortunately line up. Not catching good timing. First kill from Nissim as they try to make use of the alert smoke, and Lado just simply hid behind it.
All right, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, they did indeed just line up.
Pass play out towards A is the call, and they are moving back quickly. Legacy are responding. They are ready with this Molotov, and it will immediately block them off. Follow-up smoke. Grenade as well, just for good measure. Art knows this could be a fake, but he doesn't want to take any chances. Mid has been evacuated. Dumao likely going to be asked to use the smoke on Donut and come back over soon to assist, but how are you re-smoking Donut is the question.
2 smokes.
Dumao will be able to move past that deep smoke and actually be involved in the round over here, though. First smoke out for the CTs. They're making sure there isn't anyone up on the boost. Shamyang dealt with, and MOUZ trying to move over, jumping through the smoke will only expose himself. Art finds yet another kill. 0. Over and through he goes. Will be able to get one. Around the corner, Art trying to get up to his pistol BS again, but with Sadzin as the only supportive element with the AWP, he'd rather wait for the retake to truly be put into play. Lato is the one who is the difference maker. 0. 1-on-2, ace clutch on the line, and it won't even be a conversation to have. Legacy up to 10. What a hold from Art.
Yeah, he's doing the most. I mean, great hold on B the round prior. This time, successful on A, around the edges of smokes, and just causing such a chaotic calamity that they're just not really prepared to deal with. In fact, he can slink himself away, caught blinded, finding gaps and playing around the edges of the smoke, and making use of the gaps get blown open by him shooting through it. It's just really well handled. That's the thing that I think has really been the real surprise about Legacy, is that Art just kind of has less bozo deaths.
Yeah.
He could be a liability at times, once upon a time. That reputation will always be with him until he starts consistently delivering in these types of moments. Opening kill for him going into this round. He can be a bit wacky and wild, but he's also wise.
Re-execute from TYLOO onto B. Dumao would have loved a flash to help out, but instead he's the one providing assistance. He swings out wide for a second kill, finally put down in a way, but Mercury, I mean, what is there for him to offer? M4 recovered, looking for the ace, and Nassim will put him down before he even has a chance to shoot back. 11-8, TYLOO are looking bewildered on this T side.
Yeah, they're struggling. And again, you're getting a few rounds of flare from individuals, but it's just not coming together collectively. Legacy are in better positions. They're getting more output from their pieces. They're getting away with more genuine just murder and some of these spray downs. And it shouldn't happen if your players are of the caliber that you tried to highlight coming into this game. Like, I do believe this TYLOO rifling core is substantial. It's not the same as the Legacy ones. Legacy's one is bad. But that output has just not been met with that expectation.
And Chimang is 6-16.
Yeah, he's supposed to be one. I mean, he's supposed to be the best one. So.
Yeah. And if the tip to your spear is missing, then it doesn't matter how much you might try and add accoutrements and anything other details. It's still just a stick. Mercury gone and dealt with. Zero can trade at least. In this 3 versus 3, pushing through the smoke is lying. I mean, it's suicide at that point. Zero left alone, 1 on 3. TYLOO, this was their last gun round coming into regulation. With the way things are going, they rely on a force spy to keep their ability for a fast playoff alive, and I don't know if I have confidence in them to be able to find it.
Yeah, it comes across as there are too many people trying to make hero plays. A lot of really spread out individual moments. A lot of chances to run round smokes or trying to wager on a timing. That's cool. That can win you rounds. Legacy they've done it too. That's part of why Overpass was so scrappy, so back and forth.
Yeah.
But you also see a composure to Legacy in some of these moments. You know, even at the end there, Zero's in a 1v3. There's no ego challenging. They're buying time so that other players can get into position so they can trade or create a crossfire or just make it as uncomfortable as possible for Zero in that moment. They understand what it means to put themselves into the playoffs nice and early into this tournament. Again, this team should be jet lagged. So any extra time that they can take to focus on themselves, I'm sure would be a massive benefit to them as well.
Art taking a rare loss out towards the A bomb site will be giving TYLOO a chance. A needle of light. But Sazin will snuff it out very quickly. 4 versus 4 with still TYLOO having 2 players out in mid. This bomb could be dropped very early on, but with Dumao dying, maybe that mid activation can actually take place. Mosaic will hear Lato setting up for utility. He is going to find him if he throws even one more piece. Lato has a chance to fight back, but it's not enough. Sadzin with 2. spurs himself on. Nassim supported with the AWP that it's supposed to be only keeping an eye out onto Donut, but with a missed shot, Nassim no longer has targets. Two players out in Donut, no way to take them both down. Even the first challenge doesn't work out for him. And Sadzun will only try and back off to save. Any more damage is good. Remember, this D side has been kept incredibly honest. As far as their money is concerned, another kill would go a very long way.
Yeah, tried his best to go for that extra kill, but had to worry about his own safety now.
Terrorists win.
That was certainly still doable. Good patience from G inside of the site. Very awkward spot to try and hold on to. Had teammates trying to cover him from Donut, but had he been the first one to face there, it could have been really bad. He didn't swing. He waited for Jamyoung's position before he even considered a fight. So it's a little rough around the edges. But they play together. They get to go to decent spots to play off one another. And they're still in this map. Legacy will have 3 more opportunities to close out. Of course, their money drying up a little bit. Unlikely to muster together the strongest buy in the following round. Likely to save in that. It's even necessary. Play for mid. Jamyoung's out. Flashes are good. Art hits the deck immediately. They try to blow for the red smoke, but counter flashes are decent. Thing is, Jamyoung recovers his vision in time. And Mercury has collected on another over on that B lane. So they've taken control in key areas, both mid and B. They've got presence inside the B site itself, but just as soon as they had a 5-on-2, it's now down to a 3-on-2. Legacy could be tempted by this, but they know that B bomb site was taken some time ago.
Is this the same Jamyoung that I just criticized for being non-existent 2 rounds ago? What are these entry kills coming out in the middle?
Hey, I will say they weren't the cleanest. First one was free. That guy was full blind. And then I don't know, the flash just wasn't well timed.
Here's one of the things I do like about players like Jamyoung, who have actually done it at international tournaments, even if they might not be the most consistent.
Terrorists win.
When you are in a terrible situation, when you are facing down a team that just feels like they're going to be better than you, players like Jamyoung will very often ask for a play to be made around them, even if they're doing poorly, even if things are going wrong, just to try and, you know, uncork that bottle a little bit.
Yeah, if he can serve as a pressure release valve for TYLOO, maybe this map is on. Maybe we go OT again. You can't guarantee a double entry.
At least that's what Legacy hopes. Because this B bomb side only has 2 players. And they're getting ready for what could and should be a big push coming over. Flashes galore, completely blinded out. HE to pop open the smoke, but the following flashes will not connect. They don't need to. A 2-for-1 trade is enough, and Art waits for the bomb to be planted before he'll peek out. He's been chaotic before. No, still doesn't push the smoke. One set odd timing, and he might have just gotten it. No, Jamyoung turns to clear.
I almost can believe that Jamyoung tried to walk the smoke. I mean, Art, that's just kind of what he does sometimes, but yeah, it's a bit of a risk. And it's panned out. 12-11. These 2 saved weapons would go a long way here for Legacy. Their money is not in a great spot. While they will have accrued a decent loss bonus, they will still likely be shortchanged in a couple areas. TYLOO are chomping at the bit to bring it back into another overtime. Those that weren't with us for Overpass went into double OT, where Legacy were able to take it in the end. This map, once again, Legacy have looked like the more complete team, but that doesn't always mean you're guaranteed the win. Waiting for a timing around the top of the smoke. Can't actually see anybody over on ledge. Art won't spam it. In fact, like ships in the night, none will see one another.
Art receives audibles at least, but MOUZ receives bullets. That's one of their big rifles taken away from them. Satsin, AWP at the ready, will be able to land the equalizer, but with TYLOO fully concentrated out towards B, they might want to think twice before they make that commitment now that the AWP has been shown off.
Seems like TYLOO are sticking to this B idea. They got the util to run a full exec, and so they'll use it to that effect. Need the flashes. Sadson will try and play ahead of the smokes, but not caught by the flash. Zero will catch him around the edge of default. It's only Nissim that maintains this position inside of J. Great flash. Again, just really tenuous stuff. Good detailing here from TYLOO. A 4-on-2 here for the after planet. Art dealt with trying to run back into the bomb site. Of course, because why not? Map 1 was double OT. Map 2, we go straight into another overtime. TYLOO answer back and claw their way back into this series.
And in these past few rounds, I mean, MOUZ's come back alive. He's been getting repeated kills. Jamming, of course, getting through with a couple of them as well. It just felt like when Art stopped being able to find, you know, early entries, when Art stopped being able to find early information, they slow things down more on middle, except for that one quick double kill that they're able to find with a full execute as well. And CT economy starts running drier. Yeah, they didn't really have the solution anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean, they actually had a fair amount of success, you know, catching kills from the start of an execution, either through a smoke or just before one blooms, just on the early map control, or catching a timing. Some of that was the Art successes, but I mean, these are great flash plays, chained back to back to back. Killing Cheeto was a flash play. In Cave, a flash play. So those details do add up. And those
4 in a row for TYLOO.
Yeah, that type of efficiency is just absent for a lot of regulation for them.
Art will smoke himself off, repeat back out over. There's more numbers for TYLOO, but Art and Sadzin will still come out alive and on top. Look at what MOUZ is up to. After getting the kill on TYLOO, he creeps into the B bomb site, but Nassim has responded by creeping back to T spawn. Nobody is safe on this map. Everyone should be so paranoid. Nassim, we need eyes on him, as does TYLOO. Nassim is playing to delay, and with a bomb on the ground, they've been saved away. MOUZ moves onto the bomb site, but loses his life in his process of doing so. Legacy will find 13, unless... No, never mind.
Yeah, well, Assadzin had to miss that shot. If he even wanted a chance, a blink at it. Great shooting from Sadzin, but also proactive moves there from Legacy.
Counter-terrorists win.
Gonna lose an entry so rapidly, may as well find something back. Not be a kill, but sometimes position is all you need. Holding on to Cheetah seems to be a bit of an issue. In the last quarter of regulation, not exactly able to maintain that spot. And overall, Satsun has had a pretty solid game, but he's also been saving a fair amount. He's not been in the right spot. Like to see a bit more versatility, perhaps.
Lato's been the one giving us versatility, even if sometimes has led to his demise in the scene, covering off his retreat, and as Art peeks out into 0, he will be giving up that big advantage to make it a little bit of a smaller one. Gee! Whew! Playing a very risky angle. Uncrouches out into position. Lato, though, will stop the bomb from making its way over. Now, he knows G is nearby. He knows G is nearby, right? Right, Lato? Let's take a bit of a risk by going back over.
He definitely knows that G was around that B-bomb site. Full confirmation he's still over towards ramp. Oh, missed Molotov, though, is not ideal. And so Lato continues to lap them up. 4 kills. Just a bit of aggression out from Cave is all they needed. Lato locking B down.
Yeah, and as much as I might say Jamlan is one of those players who's happy to ask for plays around himself, Lato 100% is, especially after the overpass he just had as well.
Counter-terrorist win.
That's a beautiful spray transfer.
Yeah.
Good anticipation on the trade frag attempt. And maybe I spoke too ill of Lato earlier. Said sometimes in big moments, he does go missing. And I've seen that happen. More and more recently. But
maybe it's a trial he has come to pass.
In all these OTs, he's been having these massive moments. It's impossible to ignore.
TYLOO certainly feel that way. Like, damn. Why can't we just ignore him and maybe go A? And that might be the call with the way their money is looking like. No, it is a fast B lane. Oh my days. In through the Molotov, smoking it off. 0 wants to cover this quickly. HEs are doing good damage, and through the smoke, 1. Nassim with 2. Backs away, no trades. TYLOO are just being ripped to shreds before they even have a chance to pull out the bomb, let alone plant it. 15-12 legacy. That's the fastest round we've had in the last, what, 20?
Yes, yeah. Aside from the pacey aggression from Legacy on their T side, it's been a fairly slow rolling Ancient. Yeah, been a long time since we've seen pace like that, and maybe for good reason. TYLOO didn't get anything on that attempt, and now they'll have, well, every round one at a time, but Legacy could just close in any of these next 3. And it'll just be the same thing it always was. Legacy winning the map. And series with it.
And TYLOO really want to take this to the second overtime. They know that across these first 2 maps, this could very easily have been a 2-0 the other way. And that's just what overtime means. An activation a little bit earlier on, around where Art maybe doesn't, beat you up with dualies.
I will say, typically, like, there are sometimes overtimes where, both teams deserve it. I would say in this series, Legacy deserve it more. But again,
Legacy looked like the better team.
Yeah, they played the more complete looking game.
Yeah. That doesn't always win you CS.
No, it doesn't. I won't pretend that that's the case, but
Legacy are 1 round away from at least securing a quarterfinals appearance, and Art will start off strong. It could be a domestic matchup for Legacy to give them a semi-finals berth.
Yeah. South America stays winning. They are walking into a reinforced A bomb site. Sometimes this can be left to just one defender, but G is accompanied by Zero. G forced off his angle with the Molotov, and because of that ult, they're actually turning the other cheek, backing away from A completely on the side of Legacy. Spots them inside that mid control, but here's the reroute. Two players probing in towards cave, one pulling back and joining the rest of the pack. So it continues to be an A play, just with a different route.
Forward, G unable to find a kill again. Zero only good for the one, and that should be it. TYLOO with barely any hope of trying to come back into it. Mercury will have to make a play with 38 HP. And the AWP is there to put him out of his misery. Legacy are already thinking of their playoff dreams. And Jamyang in a 1 versus 4. Who is he to wake them up? Flash in his face, pushed away, no time, no chance, 16-12. It might have gone to overtime, but Legacy will clean up Ancient nonetheless, guaranteeing themselves at least a quarterfinals here at CAC 2026.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic showing from Legacy. You can see it smiles all around. It's